Okay, guys, another day of stripping with Bob. I call Bob. I call Bob YouTube Gold. People love him. Anyway, today on the deck here, let's talk about, because he's spent the last few days fixing, stripping off all of the varnish, which I agree 100%. It's just quick and easy and simple, wasn't it, Bob? The way we took it off.
Well, the way we took it off was simple, but it's time consuming.
Yeah, right.
And you know, we managed to get everything stripped off finally yesterday, and we're now ready for the sanding process.
Yeah, and so I think he's just gonna go ahead and start sanding on the deck today. I think he sanded already half the deck here. I'll kind of show it to you right here.
And I think what we're trying to do, you know, when you're showing the deck, I'm not trying to take any wood away from the deck. I'm using an 80 grit sandpaper.
Yeah, let me see that. Yeah.
It's an 80 grit sandpaper.
Yeah, I think that's about.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to flatten out the caulking.
Yeah, so see how that caulking, that all feels nice and straight coming across there.
You want that smooth, Paul.
Right.
So that when you start putting your bright varnish on it, it lays down well, instead of having, you can see where some of it is raised over here, right over here underneath the cord.
Oh, and, yeah. And that hasn't been sanded yet.
See, that has to be sanded down to where it's flat.
Yeah, I get that. And then this has been flattened over. Yeah, I see that exactly.
That's been sanded. So, you know, the step that I'm taking now is to get the entire surface sanded. Once it's sanded, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to put teak cleaner and teak brightener on the entire project area, and then after I do that, I'll tape it all off and we're going to start the varnish process.
Ah, sweet. Okay, Bob, so I know that the boat here, you know, like I say, it's about a 10-year overall because it's coming out of the water. We're going to take it through all the steps of what this, like, 10-year, if you're going to own one of these trawlers, especially a 40-year-old trawler, I mean, they probably need to come out of the water every 5 to 10 years. I think it's recommended 3 years, but if you keep them, we're in a kind of a little bit of a unique situation here, I've been told, because we're in like more of a little freshwater inlet.
It's a little brackish, right?
Yeah, right. And so you don't have to do them, and you can get away. There's one guy down here told me, the one on the Bertram that I took you guys on the other day, I don't think he doesn't even have a diver come out, and he said there was very little growth on the bottom of that boat.
Well, you know, and that's been the case with our boat. I mean, it's been 5 years since I had the bottom redone. Okay. And I've had divers on it every season, and you know, they keep coming back and saying bottom looks good, bottom looks good. And
that's you dive it twice a year, would you say?
I typically twice a year.
Yeah, I do mine not every month. I think it's every 6 weeks in the winter, and then in the summertime they do it. But I don't know, I just pay it and just, everybody's different about it, but I think in this particular brackish water, I don't think you need to do as much on the bottom as it was. But it keeps up on you. They'll tell you your blisters, if you got anything wrong with your props, your shafts. Check your, what is the things underneath there?
The zincs.
Zincs. Yeah, you'll get new zincs on there. So, but this project on this boat right here that Bob's working on, this is going to be like what I call a 10-year refit, because they've replayed. You know, you'll spend well over $10,000. Just what was the canvas was over?
Canvas was $8,500.
Yeah, $8,500 for the canvas. The bottom job, what are you budgeting? $3,000.
That's probably $2,500.
Yeah, $2,500 to $3,000. Hoping to get it out of there for $2,000, but it's not gonna.
Well, and you know, there's always projects to do. It's like on this boat, the Virginia Hawkeye. I've got the original gel coat on this boat.
You know what? Yeah, that's just awesome though. But you can tell the difference on the Grand Banks. Because when I'll always say this, because I owned a CHB, and when I walk across your decks, they are solid. You know, they're like it's walking across concrete. And I think the teak is a lot thicker. You know, on my CHB, it was thinner teak. Just the whole boats, they just feel more solid. The Grand Banks and.
Well, it is a solid boat, and I mean, even when it's running in open water, it's just a very solid boat. But I've been in the process. I mean, I know what has to be done when it comes to the teak, and the teak is a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
You know, but I try to do at least an annual maintenance coat where I go in and I take 320 grit paper and I lightly sand it just enough to scuff it. And when I get it scuffed, I wipe it down with acetone, and that takes any oils and things like that away.
Off the teak.
Off the teak, and then at that point I recoat.
Yeah, I just heard that like a lot of, even on some of the responses we got from that, you know, you're not supposed to put anything on the teak, as you're just supposed to keep it raw and clean it every once in a while. But this is, like I said before, this is the party deck. This is where Pretty Boy here.
Pretty Boy. Yeah.
That's where he likes to have his party, and it's just, you know, he likes this one varnish. So
well, and that, you know, that's the way it was. You know, it's been in our family for its entire life. Yeah. And you know, we believe, according to everything we know, that we're the second owners, and you know, it was always bright, and
we're kept it that way. Especially because it's undercover here with the canopy. It's not like it's the raw decks outside there. So
well, and they'll go bad on you if you don't maintain them.
Yeah, right.
It's like this one. When I get this deck finished, you know, I'll be required, and I say required. That's exactly what I mean, to do a light sanding of it and put another coat of varnish on it sometime within the next season.
Yeah, and also another thing that we've done for this little 10-year thing is we've ordered oil samples.
That's right.
And that'll be for all three: the engine, the transmission. We'll get, as soon as those kits get here, we'll go down. Me and Bob will go down in the engine room. We'll just show you. It's just a little pump that I actually have one. The little pumps, you just pump out a little bit from each one of the things, and you send them in, and they'll tell us, you know, because you want to make sure, especially if you're ever buying a boat, that you want to make sure there's no water, no oil, no water and oil mixed and stuff like that. But and there's a really cool feature about this boat that I love. I asked Bob about it the other day, and I've never seen it before on one of these little single engine trawlers. And Bob says it works, but it's a get home. What is it?
Go home.
Go home, and what it actually works on the generator. You hook a belt up or something?
Well, no, there's a device. There's a mechanical device that's hydraulically run, and it runs off the front of the generator, and it's got a hydraulic oil reservoir. It's got a pump on it.
So is there a prop and a shaft and everything, or runs the action?
No, actually what you have is you've got a 3-belt pulley on the drive shaft, on the main drive shaft.
Okay.
And then you got a 3-belt pulley that's on the hydraulic side. And I've got the belts hanging down there in the event I ever needed to use it. I've never used it.
But did you put the gear in neutral then?
Well, actually, it's in neutral. Okay. It's in neutral, and when you get it, the pulleys stop working when it's in neutral, and it's a one lever that goes forward and backward. And so you can.
But you put your regular transmission, your regular gear in neutral.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then this is because anyway, it's a super cool little feature. I hope to show it to you guys soon. Yeah. Anyway, it was super cool. I saw it the other day on the when I was inside here, and I loved it. I can't. When we go down there and do the oil samples, I'll have to show it to me. But that was super. I've never seen it before. I've never seen that.
Well, and you know, I've never had to use it. You know, that's the beauty of this boat is that Lehman 120 just continues to run like a Singer sewing machine. And
yeah, I mean, I used American Diesel, which I believe is the same person that knows this boat since its original ownership.
Every part that's ever been ordered for this boat came through American Diesel.
Yeah, and the same thing with. I didn't say the same thing, but after I bought mine, you know, the first thing I do is get on the phone with Brian. If you're going to buy a Ford Lehman, you should know Brian over at American Diesel, because he has all the resources and walk.
Well, he's got a file on this boat. You know, if you want to find out the last time we changed an oil cooler on this boat, he'll give you the date.
Yeah, right. And so I like that report. So I do keep. Now he does the same thing on. He did it on when I got Lube Princess ready. Now he knows Southern Estates in the file, and I'll keep buying my parts from him and keep calling him for reference, and he's a great. Anyway, today's about sanding the decks here, and let's do a little bit of sanding here to show them what we're going to do before we end this video, Bob. Just a little bit.
Okay, we can do that. This project, I'm hoping to have this area all taped off and masked off so that I can start putting the materials on it.
Well, what I think I want to do, Bob, is just so everybody can see, I want to, like, call me over when we go to do the cleaning, because we'll do the cleaning before you start taping it off.
Right, that'll be a pretty quick process, because guy gave me a little secret, Paul, and instead of, you know, paying a lot of money for expensive teak cleaners, I just take household Tide detergent and I wet the surface down, and I take a brush and I brush it all down. And I am going to use, because I'm upstairs and the water's going to run off, I'm going to use the professional grade teak brightener.
And that's the last thing after it's been washed.
After it's been washed, I'll put the brightener on it. I'll rinse all that, scrub it in. Then I'll rinse all that off. I'll let it dry, and after it dries is when I'll tape it. I'll mask it all off, and at that point we've got color going on it. So.
Oh, nice, nice. Anyway, I want to end this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Hey, and leave a comment about Bob, my YouTube gold, Bob.
All right, Paul.
All right, guys.